Hi there, Chris Fox here. I am working on 9114, which used to be 6148, but now it's the Waterloo Central's 9114. And as everybody knows, we got this engine here on the number 2 engine on the A end running a while ago. I got a video on that. Subsequently, since that time, we've developed a fuel leak. And I've taken the valve cover off. And let's go down into the pit and I'll show you where the fuel leak is. Okay, so we're looking at the bottom of the engine. That is the fuel pump. So we have a leak, and there is, if I can do this, you can see it comes back down around like this, and the fuel leak is right along this expansion joint right here. That's the rocker box, that's the head. So the problem is that it's coming out here. Now with Cummins, and this being a 855, the fuel lines that deliver to the CDI engine that this one is, the fuel lines are within the head, so you don't see them. So the problem is that I believe it's an O-ring that's cracked, because it weeps when it's idle, and then weeps out of there when it's idle, and then as soon as you start giving her the juice to get her going, she starts pouring out, and it runs down here, and it runs down here, and it runs, and it drips all over the floor. And you can see, yeah, we've had some pooling under here. So anyway, we have to remove the rocker box, and let's go upstairs, I'll show you that. Okay, so the rocker box, which is this part right here that holds the rockers in place. These are the rockers. And the push rods are underneath on this side. And then if you look here, you have bridges for the valves and the injector. So what we have to do is, this one is I'm under suspension, and being Cummins, you can't take the rockers off independently. You got to take the whole rocker box off, move it out of the way, and then it's all open in there. So we'll do that. Remember, I'm a Detroit man, so Detroits are my thing. Getting into these, this is it's kind of like, you know, working on a Ford and a GM. So I mean, Cummins, great engine, nice and reliable, 4-stroke, excellent. Let's get after this and see if we can't find a leak. All right, so there's after you take the rocker box off, that's what you get. You get the 3 push rods here and 3 push rods here, your injector, your bridges, which go across the valves, the rocker box itself with the rockers in them, the injector one, intake and exhaust, right, the head, the push rods, the injector push rods. So that's good. So the suspected leak is either it's either in the injector, which I don't believe because we don't have any fuel contamination, or it's right. I'll get you right in here to see this little guy right here. That is your supply and return for your fuel. Okay, and there's O-rings underneath there. So I want to undo these, and I believe it's leaking in here and then running down. All right, so we'll check that out. The same thing is on, because these heads are individual, so you have cylinder and cylinder, and then there's a gap here. You can see that gap between the two right here, which is really black and dark. Right here, right where these screws are, right here, this is a jumper. It goes from this head to this head, and this is where the fuel goes across. Okay, so all the heads are interchangeable when they're new, so you have blanked out ones on this side here, which is right here. I know it's kind of hard to see with the shadows, but so we'll take it apart and we'll see if we can't find any cracked O-rings. All right, so we got it apart, and you can see there I've taken the blanking plate off, and you can see where the indents are, where the O-rings go, and they fell apart when I pulled it out, so that's where the leak was. So we went to Cummins and got O-rings. They look like standard O-rings, and they probably are standard O-rings, but we went to Cummins just to make sure that when we put this back together it doesn't leak. In the future we could try something, but we need this, so we're just going to use the genuine Cummins part. So yeah, so let's put this back together now, and we'll carry on. All right, so there is the blanking plate put on where the leak was. O-rings are installed and it's torqued down. Now with this, when you go to put this back together, make sure that all the mating surfaces are clean. Okay, big advocate of being clean. I know gaskets and O-rings and stuff take up some bit of dirt. You can't get it like fully clean, but if it's not, you're gonna have leaks, and it's best to clean everything up, make it nice, then put your pieces back together. Anyway, so that's what it looks like. Realistically, you do not have to take the rocker box off to change that, but it makes it so much easier because the edge of the rocker box sits right in here. So you might as well take it apart so you can get at it. All right, let's go to the next step. All right, so we got the rocker box back on and the valves in here. And you can see a bit of play in that one. There's a little bit of play in this one. That one's good. I'll have to adjust the valves. A little bit in that one. We'll have to crank the engine so that we know where the position of the cam is to set the valves. We'll just keep tightening up the rocker box and carry on. All right, we're gonna bar it over here, or bump it over actually. I'm not gonna bar it. We've already moved it a little bit, but I'm gonna bump it over on the air starter and just make sure everything is doing what it's supposed to do. Thanks for watching.